Yep, yep, yep. Y'all already know who it is, man. It's King Ade with the Wizards Review. We had a tough loss tonight, man. Tough loss against the Atlanta Hawks in Atlanta. You know, I was hoping that we could pull off another upset after our big win last night against the Timberwolves, you know what I mean? But tonight it just wasn't meant to be. We started off well in the first half. It was a back and forth game. But ultimately, in the second half, the Hawks just started to pull away. They just had too much firepower. We don't have enough offense to keep up with them. That's really what it came down to, you know what I'm saying? So, this show probably ain't gonna be that long, you know what I mean? But we'll see, man. So let's get right into it. Since we lost the game, I'm gonna start with the things that I did like tonight, because there were some good positives, good things that occurred tonight. They just weren't enough to get the win, you know what I mean? So first off, I liked our ball movement. We had great offense, great passing, open shots tonight. You know what I mean? Just a great ball movement. And we've been doing that the last few games, just moving the ball very well for the most part. You know what I mean? Minus the Boston game. I don't even remember that game. You know what I'm saying? But, we was moving the ball well. You know what I'm saying? And it helped us stay in the game. Kept us close and especially in the first half. So I definitely like that. I felt Satoransky started off well. Continued to play decent at the point guard position, pushing the pace. I don't feel he was as effective tonight. I don't feel both point guards were as effective as they have been in the previous games. You know what I'm saying? I still like Satoransky, but I didn't feel like tonight he had some good plays. Don't get me wrong. So I don't want to just stun on him. Matter of fact, let me see what happened with him tonight. So Satoransky, 9 points, 5 assists, only 2 turnovers, so 4 or 5 shooting. So that's not really a bad game. Again, I didn't say they had a bad game, you know what I mean? But they just didn't have the impact necessary for us to get the win, you know what I'm saying? But still, 9 and 5 for Satoransky is okay. And that's the type of stat line that he probably have if he starts next season. You know what I mean? So I do like him, and I won't be upset if he does start. But to have a point guard that could give you maybe 15 and 7, you know what I mean, 17 and 8, rather than 9 and 5, you know what I'm saying? A little upgrade, you know what I mean, at the point guard position wouldn't help. But I still want Satoransky on our team next season, whether he's the starter or whether he's backing up the starter, for sure. I thought KCP, in the first half, he was hitting a few jumpers, but he got cold. He was a non-factor tonight, and that's surprising, especially coming off the games that he had earlier this season. I mean, just a few games ago, you know what I'm saying? So I guess he was just cold, but he didn't have it tonight. His impact on the game was extremely minimal, you know what I mean? But I felt that he did, start with a few good jumpers, you know what I mean? We made 8 out of our first 10 shots from the field tonight, which is always a good thing. Unfortunately, we couldn't sustain our offense, especially in the second half, you know what I'm saying? Especially in the third quarter. That quarter is really what killed us, you know? I felt Gafford, again, made a little impact, although he had 12 points. He didn't have not even 2 rebounds. So it was just 12 points, and then 1 rest across the board, you know what I mean? So I like the fact that he scores, you know what I'm saying, but we still need more from him. We still need him to have at least off the bench 6, 7 rebounds off the bench, you know what I mean? So hopefully he bulks up a little bit in the summer, you know what I mean? Just come back even more of a monster than he already is, you know what I mean? Another point guard, Ish Smith. I felt he pushed the pace tonight, but he didn't have his best game throughout the game as well. You know what I mean? I felt he played okay. But, he had a negative, I think, 14. A negative 14 on a plus minus on the floor tonight. That's not good enough. You know what I mean? That's definitely not good enough. So I'm definitely not happy about that. Hold on. Yeah. You know what I mean? I'm definitely not happy about that. You know what I mean? But that's just was a bad game tonight overall, especially in the second half. We just lost focus, you know what I mean? Um, we forced a couple of turnovers at the beginning of the second quarter, so I liked our aggressiveness on defense early in the second quarter. But again, everything I liked in this game for the most part was in the first half. You know what I mean? The second half, they just couldn't sustain. You know what I mean? So, you know, first half is cool, but if you're not doing it when it counts, all the stuff that I'm listing that I liked really in the grand scheme of things don't really matter at all. You know what I mean? But you got to look at some positives, look at the bright side. You know what I mean? I felt Denny, what made some type of an impact, you know, some positives, but some negatives as well. We'll get into that, you know what I mean? But I felt that he was pushing the pace, rebounding. He hit a few threes, you know what I mean? And he finished a couple of shots in the paint, which we all like to see, you know what I mean? But overall, he didn't play his best game either. I mean, overall, only one player played a great game, you know what I mean? I saw Gil get in the game, give us a couple of quality minutes off the bench. We did well at times on the offensive boards, which helped lead to second chance points, you know what I mean? And then we shot 57% from the field in the first half by halftime. You know what I mean? So it was looking good going into halftime. I think we were only down one going into halftime. You know what I mean? So to lose by 15 kind of tells you what occurred in the second quarter. You know what I mean? I mean the second half. But the thing I like most tonight was Porzingis, man. I mean, you can't say much more about him. You know what I mean? He easily gets 20 plus points a game. I mean, so effortless. But tonight he added 26 and 18, 4 assists, 2 blocks. That's a monster line. You know what I mean? To have that type of line in a 15-point loss is discouraging. You know what I mean? But that's the type of line we would love to have from him. Not to say he's going to get 18 rebounds every single game, but a double-double average next season with our full arsenal of players would definitely make us an issue in the in the East next year. There's no doubt in my mind. There's no doubt about it. You know what I'm saying? If we had Bradley Beal, Kyle Kuzma, some more firepower tonight with Porzingis having that type of crazy stat line, I feel we may have been closer in the game. But again, they just had too much for us, especially in the second half. You know what I mean? So with that said, man, let's get to the things that I dislike, man. And off jump, we moved the ball well. They moved the ball even better tonight. You know what I'm saying? With their lead horse, Trae Young, just doing everything for them tonight, man. He started off with assisting, moving the ball, you know what I mean? Making sure his teammates got involved. That's how we started the game. But in the second half, he began to take over with his shooting, with his getting to the line, with his hitting the three. You know what I mean? Just becoming just a terror on the floor. Trae Young is very nice, man. He's nice out there, man. Matter of fact, he ended the game 30 points, 11 assists, 3 turnovers, 11 for 12 from the free throw line. You know what I'm saying? Plus 28 on the floor, leading the. I mean, he was the reason why they won. Now, I'm not going to say just him alone, but him being the lead guard for the Hawks, he's definitely a problem to guard. You know what I mean? Whether you can't play too far up on him, he'll drive past you. You can't play too far away, he'll hit the three. You know what I mean? He can still get to the line. You know what I mean? So he did a little bit of everything tonight, showed a full repertoire of his game, and we just didn't have enough to stop him. You know what I mean? He definitely closed us out. He started to get hot in the third quarter, but in the fourth quarter, he did what the best player on the team is supposed to do: close the opponent out. You know what I mean? And that's what he did tonight. You know what I mean? So hats off to him. He played a very good game. You know what I'm saying? Unfortunately, I didn't like that because it helped lead to our loss tonight. So, yeah, I definitely didn't like that. The Hawks, their first 12 field goals, they had 8 assists. So that tells you right there where this game was headed for them in regards to moving the basketball. They ended the game with 26 assists. We ended the game with 26 assists as well. but we lost the turnover battle. We had 14 turnovers. They only had 6 turnovers. You know what I mean? So that was the big key on why we lost the game. And that is another thing that I dislike tonight. Just our sloppiness with the ball at times throughout the night, man. Like I was saying earlier about Denny, you know what I'm saying? He played all right tonight, but man, he had one of his worst games at times just with decision making, turning the ball over, just loss of focus throughout the game tonight. You know what I mean? This is one of his worst games I've seen him play lately. You know what I mean? But, you know, he's a young player, so I don't want to dump on him too much. But this definitely was not his best game, man. Gallinari went crazy tonight. He set the tone in the first half of the Hawks in regards to scoring. You know what I'm saying? He was just hitting threes left and right. You know what I mean? He ended the game with 26 points. I mean, Trae Young with 30. Gallinari with 26. 26 with 10 boards. So both players had a double-double tonight. Damn, that was just a dominant performance. And again, man, they just have more offensive firepower than we have. You know what I'm saying? And it really showed in the second half. We just couldn't score, especially in the third quarter. We definitely got cold. It was an ugly third quarter for us, and that's when they started to pull away. But in the fourth quarter, they just really broke the game open, man. So I definitely didn't like that. Our three-point defense was terrible tonight. You know what I mean? Again, let's look at the stat box score, man. They went 16 for 39 from the three-point line, 41%. We only went 10 for 35 for 28.6%. You know what I mean? So over 40% from the three-point line. It felt like they were shooting it better than that for real. You know what I mean? So I definitely didn't like that. Hunter made multiple threes in the first quarter, and he's not really even a three-point shooter like that. So you know that, you know, he's known for his defense. You know what I'm saying? So for him to be hitting threes in the first quarter, it really was kind of an omen for what type of game it was going to be tonight. You know what I'm saying? The Hawks, they scored 40 points in the first quarter. Again, another sign of what was to come tonight. You know what I mean? 40 points. I mean, they weren't up double digits at the end of the first quarter. They was up 9, I think. So we had 31. We scored well, but they had 40. You know what I'm saying? We cut the game close at times throughout the game. But again, in the second half, they just blew the game open, you know? They hit 8 threes in the first half. I think I said they hit 16 for the game. So they hit 8 and 8 both halves. So they were pretty consistent from the three-point line tonight. They scored 14 points off of turnovers in the first half. So that, again, goes to the turnover problem that we had tonight, being sloppy with the ball, not valuing possessions the way we have been in the last few games. It was an off game tonight against a great team. Well, a good team. They're playing team. So I don't want to say great team, but they're definitely a good team hitting their stride at the right time of the year. You know what I mean? So tough loss. Yeah, tough loss, man. That's really everything that I dislike tonight. You know what I mean? We only had 3 players scoring double figures tonight. You know what I mean? The only bright spot, consistency we had for the most part tonight was from the center position. Porzingis at the lead, and then Gafford with his 12 points, but only with 1 rebound. That's not good enough. You know what I mean? Porzingis had 18 rebounds, which is very, very good. But he needs help. You know what I mean? He's going to need help. But again, the season's almost over. You know what I'm saying? Nice test, but it showed that we still got work to do, and we really miss some of our key pieces. You know what I mean? But anyway, man, that's really all I have for y'all tonight, man. You know what I mean? Tough loss. You know what I mean? But if you like the content, man, I would really appreciate you guys subscribing to the channel at the Wizards Review on YouTube. You can follow us on Facebook and Twitter. You can follow me, King Ade DMV, on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and on the Xbox Series X and S on NBA 2K22. You know what I mean? So anyway, till the next game, you know what I mean? Don't even trip. You know what I mean? Tough loss against a team that needed this win for playoff positioning. You know what I mean? So it was a good test. We just failed the test tonight, man. But till next game, you know what I mean? Have a good night. Take care. Peace.